Welcome to Grief Books. My name is Laura, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker and bereavement coordinator at Family Hospice.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I also work with Family Hospice. I'm a bereavement counselor, and we're here in the beautiful kitchen of the Phipps Botanical Gardens in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we host a cooking grief support group that we're here to talk to you about today. As we know, when people are grieving, there's often strong emotional reactions that they have. There's also, especially when we're talking about kids, you might see some behavioral changes and shifts in the way that they think and look at the world. But another big part of the grief experience is the physical symptoms and side effects that we often experience, either with our digestive system. Sometimes it speeds up, sometimes it slows down, and our appetite can change. Sometimes we want to eat more, sometimes we want to eat less. And the motivation actually to cook and to find joy in the simple pleasure of food can be hard to generate. So we have this class to help children and their trusted adult come together, connect, and share in the experience and find the joy of food again.
A lot of times when we are planning this group and when we are talking to bereaved, people tend to underestimate how difficult or how much death can affect your relationship with food. The seemingly simple act of just going to the grocery store, that can cause all sorts of challenges, from seeing a food that your person may have really enjoyed eating and not picking that up and putting it in your cart. Maybe figuring out what you like, how much you like to eat, when you like to eat, and even what you like to eat. But then there's also, what if you run into someone at the grocery store and they ask that dreaded, "How are you?" How are you going to respond? Elizabeth will talk about some of those other challenges a little bit later on. But what we really want for this group and what our goal is for this group is to bring grieving people together, grieving children, grieving caretakers and adults. And we want them to kind of explore these and other challenges, develop some different coping strategies, expand their skills, and most importantly, learn about themselves and about their shifting identities. So some of the other goals that we strive to accomplish with this group is strengthening relationships, introducing children and adults to other children and adults who are going through similar situations. But we also want to invite people to practice healthy coping and reintroduce them to healthy eating. A lot of times when we are grieving and when we are perhaps taking care of someone else, we neglect our own nutrition. And so kind of reintroducing people back into being in the kitchen and having healthy meals is one of those other goals that we strive for.
So some of the challenges that people who are grieving face when it comes to cooking and food and enjoyment, bringing that joy of life back into their home, include this idea of decision fatigue, where we have so many changes that are going on in life that we can't even figure out what we want to eat. And that can be so challenging and overwhelming to even think about. So we try to come up with some creative strategies for addressing that kind of decision fatigue, including using creative techniques such as looking through cookbooks or magazines just to thumb through and have a chance to talk to each other, between the trusted adult and the child, to figure out what might be fun to put on their meal planning list. Meal planning is a great way to save yourself time and money, but also to just start to begin to open up the creative pathways in the brain that sometimes shut down when we're grieving because of the overwhelm and frustration. Again, Laura talked about going to the grocery store. This can be a major challenge for a lot of people. You're used to going down certain aisles that you no longer have to shop in, and that can be very disorienting and upsetting. And when it comes to just even the most basic of tasks, such as setting the table or planning for the holidays, what are you going to do with the empty seat? Are you going to fill it? Are you going to light a candle? Are you going to say something? These are all areas that we can talk about and explore with kids, with adults, in a kitchen environment. Makes it really fun and much more interactive and hands-on, and so it's a little less pressure to have to be able to go through some of these things that can be difficult to talk about. Dishwashing, setting the table, clearing up the table, all of these things have to be navigated in a new way. And so this gives kids a chance to just explore that in a fun and exciting and hopefully tasty way. We also like to think about the legacy of the people that have come before us, whether it's recipes that we hand down or going out to the garden to pick those favorite tomatoes and make a really great sauce. We can honor that tradition either through recreating a recipe as precisely as possible, remembering that little trick that your grandmother used to use, or we can even alter recipes so that it honors the history, it honors the tradition, but it also fits into your life in a way that meets the present circumstances and talks about the challenges and changes that have occurred in a family. We can adapt recipes for that as well.
We know that our audience here on Children's Grief Awareness Day is children in their grief. What is really unique about our Cooking for One groups and our cooking groups is that it can be flexible. So you could have a group that is all children, you could have a group where it is children and their trusted caretaker, or you could also have a group kind of shying away from the children where it's all adults. Some of the other ways that you can be flexible with the format of this group, we of course are very lucky to have this beautiful, innovative demonstration kitchen. But if you don't have that available to you, there are different appliances, small appliances that you can take with you, whether it be a food processor, a toaster oven, taking some things and creating your own kitchen. In that kind of similar mind, you can have recipes that are very detailed and perhaps involve some of the legacy work that Elizabeth was mentioning, where maybe you were making that Sunday sauce that was your grandmother's. Or if you were looking for maybe some more kid-friendly recipes, pull out that toaster oven, throw on a couple of English muffins and some tomato sauce, a little bit of cheese, and teach kids kind of those basic skills again that they can do at home.
Because you want to remember, the most important thing here is the connection, the interaction, the coming together of folks to create a joyful, fun, and delicious experience that brings them into the future.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining Elizabeth and I in the kitchen today. If you would like more information, you can certainly visit our website, and we very much look forward to cooking with you in the future.
Thank you.